and you can see us, put a 1 in the chat. We'll make sure we good.
There we
All
go.
right.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Look, I need you. Forget the one. If you guys can hear us, put wealth in the chat, man. Let's turn this thing up a little bit. Everybody put wealth in the chat. If you guys can hear us, you guys can see us, put wealth in the chat. We are ready to go ahead and give you guys some games, some plays, and everything in between so you can go ahead and get 2026 rolling today. I'm gonna say that again. Put 2026 in the chat if that sounds amazing, you guys. We want to give you the plays to get the things rolling today. A lot of people want to go ahead and start 2026 on January 1st. We actually started on honestly August 1st. But
Facts.
October 29th is just the next best date. So I'm gonna say something real quick and I'll pass it back to you, bro. For the last, I don't know how many years I've been getting paid on January 1st. I don't probably like 6, 7, I don't know how many years I've been getting paid on January 1st. And it's not necessarily just off of rental properties, but also different moves we made because I start putting them into effect 60 days prior, 90 days prior. Whether if it's a deal, I flip the property, closing the property, I started putting the deal in the contract in October, in November. So on January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, I'm walking into the new year with a check. So I want to put that into correlation for you guys to start the day. If you
Facts.
want to walk into the new year already with some momentum, you want to walk into the new year with a new bag, you want to walk into the new year with things already set up, you have to start today. Everybody got that? I
That's a
want to
fact.
pass it back to you on that one.
Yeah, we about to get started in a couple minutes, y'all. So what I want to do is just set a few expectations, right? Number one, I need everybody to give us your complete undivided attention for the next 90 minutes. If you can give us your complete undivided attention for the next 90 minutes, like I don't want you scrolling on social media. I don't want you talking on the phone, texting nobody. I need you to put on do not disturb. If you need to go in a corner or in a different room, this is the time I need you to lock in. If you can do that, type commit in the chat. Type commit in the chat if you can do that. Just let us know. That's all I want to make sure of, right? And there we go. Kim got your commitment. That's what I'm talking about. Kia got your commitment. Ellen, I got your commitment. Yuri got your commitment. Robert, I got your commitment. There we go. That's what I'm talking about because we are committed to giving you our wealthy framework. So what's gonna happen is Joy is gonna kick this thing off and she's gonna break down a lot of strategies that we're looking for. And then Boone is gonna come in and teach some strategy. Then I'm gonna come in and teach some strategies. But all three of us together, it makes up our wealthy framework, which is teaching you how to build wealth, increase your income, and add an additional $300,000 in asset value by December 31st of this year. Somebody type this year in the chat. That's the biggest thing. This year. This year. We want to move fast to the finish line. We want to get to the goals that much faster. So that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure we was all good and we got that commitment. Joy, I'll pass it to you. And we can get this show on the road.
Okay, yay. Okay, how is everyone doing tonight? So, I'm going to break down how we're going to structure our business, how we're going to protect our assets. I'm going to also go over what kind of estate planning basis we need so that, as things go on with our life, we are protected. Okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if you're like, I know you. Give me a 2 in the chat, like, girl, who are you? Let me share my screen. Come on, lipstick. Okay, my name is Joy. I'm your business bestie. I have been a business attorney and serial entrepreneur since 2004. And these are some of the businesses that I have started and grown to 6 or 7 figures. I started off with my law practice, the Hunt Law Group. I then ventured off into the beauty industry, starting a hair salon franchise, Super Weave Express, Houston's home of the $50 sewing, and I grew that franchise to 10 locations between Texas and Louisiana. And then I ventured off into the auto industry, starting a car dealership, a collision shop, and an insurance agency. And so, tonight, I'm going to break down how we need to properly structure our business to protect our assets. So, you want to always have some kind of entity. We do not want to be doing business as a sole proprietor or a DBA. So, this is you. You may have a house, you may have a car, you may have money in the bank. If we're doing our business as a sole proprietor, If we're doing our business as a DBA, we are out here doing business, exposing our assets. So if something were to happen and we were to get in an accident or we were to get sued and we would lose that lawsuit, they would come take our home, our car, the money, the bank, and we do not want that. So you want to always form an LLC to separate you and your business, separate you and your business from your personal assets. Okay. So we don't want to be a sole proprietor. We don't want to be a DBA. You're going to first form an LLC or you want to form a corporation. We also want to make sure we have some kind of entity to make our business credible. Credible. We also want to have an entity that's going to reserve the name and the state that we are in. And then last but not least, our business can also apply for lines of credit, for loans, for business credit. It's going to double our borrowing power. So, besides having an LLC or a corporation, you want to then go get your EIN, your employer identification number. After that, you're going to want to go and have a business address. So you don't want to have, they Google your business address. It shouldn't be a house or an apartment. You want to go ahead and get an actual business, some kind of commercial property. So if you don't already have a brick and mortar, then you want to go get what's called a virtual address, so that you have some kind of commercial property. So when the bank Googles your business address, a business property pops up. We also want to make sure that we have our business bank account that reflects the true income of the business. And you want to make sure that your LLC is going to be active by filing what's called your LLC annual report. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that we have what's called an operating agreement. That's going to be the contract for your LLC. Now, anyone here have multiple businesses, but they only have one LLC? And you're running multiple businesses out that one LLC. We don't want to do that. So if I have Joy's Real Estate and I'm going to start doing Joy's car rentals, I don't want to have them both in one LLC, because if something were to happen and I were to get sued and I lose that suit, they can touch the assets and the cash for both entities. So every business needs to be its own LLC. So I would have Joy's Rentals. I would have Joy's Real Estate. Everything needs to be separate. So if something were to happen on one, it won't affect the other. Okay. So every business needs to have its own LLC, its own EIN, its own bank account, its own operating agreement. Now, for those of you guys who own assets, there are a couple of things that we can do. Number one, I want you guys to think about liability in two ways. There's inside liability, outside liability. Inside liability means something inside the business caused the lawsuit. Outside liability means that you caused the lawsuit. Maybe you had a car accident and you were at fault. Maybe your child borrowed your car and they had a car accident, they're at fault. So you as a business owner is also a liability if you were to cause things. So a way to reduce lawsuits is to what's called mask your liability or mask your ownership by people not being able to know what it is that you own. So one way of doing that is by having what's called an anonymous LLC. There are 4 states that if you were to Google on the Secretary of State's website, the owner's information doesn't pop up. Delaware, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Nevada. Normal articles of organization are going to have the person's name and address. So if someone were to Google the business, they will be able to know what you own. But in an anonymous LLC, the owner's information isn't on there at all. It's not on there at all. So masking your ownership is one way of people not knowing what it is that you own. Therefore, if a lawsuit were to happen, the first thing opposing counsel is going to do is Google you, do a Secretary of State search, look at the deed titles. What do you own? If your name isn't on anything, you don't look like a good target to sue. Another way of protecting our assets is by using what's called a holding company. A holding company is going to be an LLC that's just used to own the asset. Okay, it's going to own the real estate, it's going to own the vehicles, it's going to own the trademarks. So you want to have one business that's going to be your operating LLC and one that's going to own the assets. So if something happens at the business level and it gets sued, your assets are protected. So how that works is your one entity, your holding company owns the assets. The operating business will have a lease agreement to use the assets. Every single month, the operating agreement will pay the holding company a lease fee to use the assets. If my tenant were to slip and fall and sue me, I'll lose the cash flow, but I won't lose my asset. So a holding company is a great way of separating your assets from the operations of your business. Another way of structuring your business is going to be by having a parent company. One business owns the other businesses. If you want a more simple structure, you can have your bubbles, separate entities. If you want to have a more complex structure, you can have one LLC own all your other LLCs. So a holding company owns assets, a parent company owns businesses. A holding company owns assets, a parent company owns businesses. Well, why would you want to have a parent subsidiary format? Number one, you may not want to have your name on the LLC. So you can form a parent company, and that parent company could be an anonymous LLC state. That way, no one's name is on anything, and the parent company could then own the other LLCs. Close my door. Another way or reason why you have a parent company is if you have a high risk industry. So you're already in construction, real estate, credit repair, dealership. We know that with a high risk industry, we can't get maximum funding. So what we'll do is we'll form a parent company, take the profits of the high risk industry, move them up to the parent company, and get funded from the parent company. If you're trying to get funding and the requirement is $10,000 a month of revenue, your businesses by themselves don't give you $10,000, but collectively they do, then we can move our profits up to our parent company via our management fee and then get funding from the parent company that way. Also, for those who own multiple businesses, you may want to only take payroll from one entity. Now, it's very important to understand that if we have a more complex structure like this, that all the corporate formalities need to be followed at the baby level so that they don't pierce the corporate veil, which means if we're commingling funds, if our LLC is inactive, if we're not running our business correctly, they can pierce the corporate veil and go to the parent company, and we don't want that, okay? So how it will look big picture is you would own your trust will own your parent company owns your subsidiaries or your other businesses, and your holding company is always off to the side separate because you don't want to ever mix assets with any operations of a business. So that is a couple of ways of structuring your business. Now, there's another way of owning assets or hiding our ownership, what's called a trust. But here's the thing. There are two types of trust: a revocable living trust and an irrevocable living trust. A revocable living trust, you're able to put assets in, but you're also able to move the asset around, get a loan on the asset, kind of zig and zag, right? When with a revocable living trust, because you can still control the asset while you're alive, it does not give you any asset protection while you're living. The benefit's going to be upon your death, your assets go immediately to your heirs, unlike probate, where you have to go through probate court, and that may take a year and a whole bunch of fees, but it doesn't protect your assets while you're alive. Now, the other type of trust is going to be called an irrevocable living trust. That's the bulletproof trust. Anything that you put in there is going to be protected. However, you can't touch the asset either. So for business owners or people who want to still have control over their asset while they're living, if they want more flexibility, they will use what's called a holding company. Now, here are some estate planning basics. Number one, you want to, of course, have a trust. So, although a living trust doesn't give you asset protection, it will give your assets immediately to your heirs upon your death. So, that's perfect. You want to have what's called a pour over will. That's going to be a will that says, hey, any asset I acquire that I didn't put in my trust will immediately go to my trust upon my death. So let's just say I'll go and buy a car today and I didn't have time to go to my estate plans attorney to actually transfer that car into my trust. I didn't go to the DMV and change anything over. And then I die. Upon my death, all my assets will still go into my trust and then go down to my beneficiaries or my heirs. You also want to have what's called a medical power of attorney, someone that can make control or make decisions over your body. And you want to also have a financial power of attorney. It does not have to be the same person. So you can have your mom make whatever are going to be your medical decisions, but mom may have a casino problem and we don't want her over our money. We can have someone else that's over our money. You also want to make sure that you have listed on your bank account a beneficiary. If something were to happen to you, who do you want to have access to your accounts? Because if we don't list anyone, your bank account is going to have to go through probate if you don't already have a will. And if people need to access their account to pay some things, they won't be able to. And that's how assets are lost during the probate procedure. And then last but not least is going to be life insurance. Of course, we want to have life insurance so when we die, our loved ones can still have the same quality of life. But there are also what's called living benefits, with Ramel. We'll get into that a little later on. But there's benefits that we can get while we're living, right? So if we're sick, it can pay for some things. We can also use that for buying different things. So that's going to be your estate planning basics and your business structure basics. Now that we know how we're going to structure things, how we're going to protect things, now it's going to be time to actually acquire assets. So I'm going to bring Boone on here to break down how we're actually going to get into real estate and how we're actually going to grow our asset portfolio.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody go ahead and say thank you, Joy, in the chat. That was amazing. This is information and game that you have to know. Not that I want to know. Now I need you have to know, because all the things that I'm gonna be talking about, all the things that Ramel's gonna be talking about is can go out the window if it's not properly protected. Everybody got that? So again, put thank you, join the chat, because this is key information. Because you don't want to build all this wealth, you don't want to do all these things, you don't want to set up all these policies, and then one small instance makes you lose everything. I personally seen it happen to many people, so I would hate it to happen to you guys. So look, everybody say thank you to her. I want to go ahead and introduce myself and give you guys a little bit of game strictly on real estate. Everybody put real estate in the chat. If you're someone that's interested to go ahead and buy properties, flip properties, or more so just have properties in your portfolio to go ahead and pass down to the next generation. And real quick, I want to go ahead and ask you guys a question. How many people want to go ahead and buy multiple properties, or you just want to buy like one or two houses and have one or two rental properties and call it a day? Put empire if you want to build a huge empire. Put one or two if you just want to buy one or two. And it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with either or, but I just want to know because I'm just curious. Empire, 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 empire. One or two, empire, empire, one or two. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, my rule of thumb is everyone should at least own three. You don't have to have 20, you don't have to own 30, but everyone should at least own three. And after I get finished talking, you'll understand exactly why I said it. So without further ado, I want to introduce myself. My name is Derek Bourne. I'm a real estate investor in Philadelphia. I've been doing real estate since 2016. I own millions and millions in real estate. I've done over 10 millions in transactions. We have made a lot of money in this business through multiple different avenues. I started out as a real estate agent, then I went from real estate agent to real estate wholesaler, then I went to real estate wholesaler to full-time investor. And the reason why I want to specifically tell you guys that, because it's not one question that you can ask that I can't answer when it comes to real estate. I've done every single deal you could think of. I've made any money in different types of avenues. So, and over the last going on 10 years. So when it comes to this business, I know it like the back of my hand, and I can give you guys the answer on it. So with that being said, ask whatever question you guys have, and don't be scared to go ahead and just receive this information, because I know some of you guys get in these classes, you're like, man, I'm not sure this is the right thing or this is the real deal or this, that, and that. This is 1000% the real deal. We actually do this, all three of us, and we're going to give you real information that we're actually doing on a day-to-day basis, not something we did 10 years ago, not something we did 5 years ago, not something we did 2 years ago. I'm talking about currently active things that's going on in today. Everybody put today in the chat. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and tell you guys some game and put you guys on some plays. But I want to share something with you guys first. So a lot of people see, oh, he's making money, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing a lot of amazing things. But I want to share something specific with you guys to let you guys know that it does not matter how you start, it's all about how you finish. I'm gonna say this again. It does not matter how you start, it's all about how you finish. Everyone does not start with the silver spoon. Everyone doesn't start with $1 billion. Everyone doesn't start with an 800 credit score. Everyone doesn't start with, all these things that you think that you need, but you still can make it happen regardless. Everybody put now in the chat. What you have right now, it is perfectly fine. It is every single thing that you need. We just need to go ahead and play our hand. Maybe a little different than the next person, but you can win with your hand. And reason why I say this, I want to show you guys something specific, right? This is me right here. This is me literally back in 2016, working at a retirement home, making $10 an hour. This retirement home. I used to work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then I used to work 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't have no corporate background. The only other job I worked at before this was a retirement. I mean, not retirement home, was McDonald's. And then I did some summer camp work as a camp counselor. That's the only three jobs that I've ever had in my life, between a retirement home, McDonald's, and a camp counselor. I don't have any college degree. I don't have a corporate background, but yet we were able to go ahead and make millions of dollars, become a millionaire, and have millions in assets. So if it's not something God can do, I promise you he can go ahead and do it. But it starts with you actually believing in yourself and actually doing the actual footwork first. And then we see where we at right now. And this is actually a couple years ago, flying jets, doing all these different things, which this is not even the biggest thing I want to show you guys. I just want to show you guys what can happen in just in a few years. Literally in just 1 year, a lot can change in your life, but you have to go in and start today. All right, everybody put today in the chat. Amen, amen, amen. Perfect, 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 perfect. So one thing I want to share with you guys today is specifically how we can go ahead and buy assets, build assets, and be able to pass down assets to the next generation, but it doesn't cost a whole lot of money out of our own pocket. A lot of people, and put me in the chat, this is you. A lot of people don't want to go ahead and start buying properties, flipping properties, or passing that, or having assets that pass down because they feel like, yo, I need 100,000, I need 200,000, I need 300,000. Look, someone just asked, how much do I actually need to purchase a duplex? This is a good question. This is what we're about to get into. So I want to share something with you guys, right? So I just recently purchased a property for my son a couple weeks ago now. Actually, tomorrow makes 30 days. Tomorrow makes 30 days since I purchased this property. This is him, and this is him inside the property while we're working on this. And this property will be fully gut renovated, fully done in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, maybe 2.5 weeks, it will be completely done. But that's not even the part that I want to show you guys. Like, this is us getting started in the project. This is the first day after we close them. So you see how rough it looks. And when I show you guys the pictures, I'm gonna post on Instagram. I'm gonna show you guys the picture how it looks in about 2 weeks. It's gonna be like night and day. But the biggest thing I want to show you guys is this. This is the exact amount of money out of pocket I needed to go ahead and buy this property. $8,275.16. Everybody put 8K in the chat. $8,275.16. So when someone says, yo, listen, I cannot invest, it's not that you can't invest, it's just you missing the information to invest. Put an aha in the chat if you guys with me. It's not that you can't invest, it's you just missing the information that's going to help you actually go ahead and do it. So someone's asking like, okay, how the heck do you go ahead and do invest with 8K? How do you even make that type of thing happen? I want to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys some things. But really quickly, if you have $8,000 available as a checking account, savings account, IRA, credit cards, savings, high yield savings, stock, Bitcoin, if you have 8K available, put available in the chat. And I just want to, do like a little poll right here, because it's going to be a lot of people inside of this chat right now that can literally go ahead and start investing. I'm talking like tonight. Literally like tonight. It's just that we just don't have the tools, or we have the tools, we just don't have the information to put together. And for anybody that's saying, hey, I don't have that available, or before this call is over tonight, you will learn how to have that available. So stay on, and we're gonna go in that specifically. And there's a lot of people that say they do have that available. So it is no reason why you can't just go ahead and start tonight. And if for you guys that don't, you will be able to learn how to do that before the night over. So actually, all of you guys, there's no reason why you can't go ahead and start. So what I want to share with you guys is the way we're able to go ahead and buy these properties without needing a whole bunch of money out of pocket is we utilize lenders, we utilize financial institutions that give us the money to buy the houses and give us the money to fix up the houses. But these lending institutions have a secret code, a secret formula, a secret hack that we understand and we know how to go about it to allow them to give us more fun. Everybody put more in the chat. So you know how when you play in a video game, you got the secret code, secret hack, so you can go ahead and unlock all the bonuses. Well, we have that code, we have that hack when it comes to real estate investing. And that code and that hack for me specifically is something called the 65% rule. So somebody out the gate already know, you guys like, what the hell is the 65% rule? So it's pretty much a rule that we utilize in real estate that we follow to make sure we're going to make money. If you follow this, what I'm about to break down, you will make money. There's no way around. I don't care if you need to drop the price a little bit. You will make money 100% is a guarantee. Put guarantee in the chat. And I don't like giving guarantees, but this is a guarantee. You will make money if this happens. The second thing is I want to show you guys is when lenders see you following this hack, follow this rule, follow this play, they are willing to lend way more money than the average. And just so you guys can see the real truth behind it, this is for this specific deal. This is the lender, and it says from a value standpoint, this loan looks like it makes sense and is eligible for 100% funding. Because I followed the specific formula, they said that it is 100% available, that we can go ahead and do 100% financing. And just so you guys, one other thing I want to show you guys again really quickly is this is another house that I'm literally about to go ahead and close on. Oh, come on. This is another house I'm literally about to close on next week. And there they go ahead and say it again. Hey, this we are good for funding purchase plus renovation. 100% again. So these are things that you guys can go and do, but you have to just follow this formula. So really quickly, let's go ahead and break this down. How this formula works is, and I want you guys to follow this to the T. Put ready in the chat if you guys are ready. You do ARV times 65% equals all in. So what ARV stands for is after repair value. So what that means is after the house is repaired, after the house is fixed up, what exactly is the value? What is it going to be worth? So when you guys see those houses on HGTV and they fully nice, new floors, new kitchen, all those things, and it sells, that's what it's worth. So to make it simple, if you guys go to a website called Realtor.com and you scroll all the way to the bottom. So you type in the address of your personal house. You scroll to the bottom of Realtor.com and it's going to say recently sold. It's going to show you all the houses that sold in your neighborhood. You look for the ones that's super beautiful, everything nice, and you see those houses sold for 400, 500, 600 million, whatever the number sells for. Your house could possibly be worth that same amount if you make your house look like that. Comment makes sense if that makes sense. So if your house doesn't have a whole bunch of new stuff, but you see the house sold for 700,000 2 blocks over, and they have all the new stuff, put the new stuff in your house, then it will be worth that. Got it? Apples for apples, oranges, orange. Just make it look like that. It will be worth the same amount of money, right? So that's called after repair value, right? So now what you do is you take that number, you times it by 65%, and when you do that, it equals your all in. All in basically represents how much you're going to buy it for and how much you're going to fix it up for. So what we're going to do is the property that I purchased from my son is worth $160,000 fixed up, and we times that by 65%. Somebody really quickly do that math for me. I'm gonna make y'all work tonight. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna make y'all work tonight. What is 160,000 times 65%? Somebody pull out their phone, pull out the calculator really quickly. Thank you, Javante, thank you. That equals $104,000. So what this means is that I can buy it and I can fix it up all within this number. So I can put 50,000, I can buy for 50,000 and put $54,000 worth of work into it. I can buy for 100 grand and put $4,000 worth of work into it. I can buy for 4,000 and put 100 grand worth of work into it. I don't care how you break it up. As long as you do not go over that math as far as buying it and fixing up, that is your budget. You are good to go and you are going to make money. Comment makes sense in the chat if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, you have your budget to go ahead and do whatever. You, as long as you buy it for this price and you fix up for this price and it does not hit over that number, you are good. And if you guys can see, if I'm all in 104, but it's worth 160, you see we got about $54,000 worth of gap. So that means I could paint this house 2, 3, 4 times and I still got enough money left over to make money. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if you guys are with me on that. This is how you go ahead and make sense and make money in real estate. So let's go ahead and take it to the next level, right? So now we understand the formula, and this is what makes banks want to say, look, we'll give you more money because this is a no-brainer, right? Because this is a no-brainer. Let's go ahead and break down the actual deal at hand. So I told you guys my son's property is worth $160,000 within the next 2 weeks once he fixes it up. It's crazy how I purchased this house for $36,000 and I put $64,000 into it. And in about 40 days, I'm turning it from 36,000 to 160. Everybody put God in the chat. That ain't nothing but God. Nothing but God in the formula. We were able to turn a house from 36,000 to 160 in about 40 days. So you see, if we add 130, if we add 36,000 and 64,000, that equals $100,000. So that means the bank told me that they will give me a 104, but I didn't even need the whole 104. I only needed 100. That's comment makes super sense in the chat. That makes super sense. So that's why the bank is like, look, listen, whatever you need, we are willing to back you because you have the formula. You have the sauce, you have the everything. We are willing to back this 100% because you know what you're doing. And I'm going to give you guys the same thing that I'm doing so you guys can do the same thing and you guys can win the exact same way. So the thing is, right, when we utilize this type of lender, they are called hard money lenders, or like what I like to say, little bank, right? So you have little bank over here that's give you the money to buy it, and they give you the money to fix it up, right? So the thing is with this, if I want to go ahead and pass down property, I want to keep something for the long haul, I need more long-term funding. With this type of lender, they are 12 to 18 months. They are 12 to 18 months. That means you need to go ahead and give them back the 100,000 you borrowed within 12 to 18 months. So what we do is we do something called a refinance. So I'm basically calling another bank to pay off my old bank. So now this is my new lender. Everybody got that? Put follow. So what I like to do is I like to call big bank, which is, typically could be credit unions or big banks, Bank of America, Citizens, but I personally like the credit unions. And what they'll do is they'll go ahead and say, okay, we'll take the number that the house is worth, we'll times about 75%, and then we'll give you that amount. So somebody in the chat, what is 160 times 75%? Quick. What is 160 times 75%? Quick. I got about 4 minutes. Let me see what we got. Thank you. Healthy. Thank you. $120,000. So what this bank is going to do is they're going to say, hey, look, listen, Derek, we'll give you and your son $120,000. And then out of this $120,000, you got to pay back the 100K that you owe. So what's left over is $20,000. Now, I want to make sure I'm super clear with everybody. When you go ahead and do a deal with a bank, you have to pay some types of fees. The same way when you buy something for $1, you got to pay $1.10, $1.15, $1.20. You have to pay some type of taxes, some types of fees. Same thing when it does with banking. So in this deal, they're going to charge about $3K in fees. So that means we have $17,000 left over. The best part about this $17,000 is that it is tax free. You do not pay taxes on borrowed money. Everybody put tax free in the chat. You do not pay taxes on borrowed money because the way the government is set up, the way the rule works, you do not pay taxes on borrowed money. So now you have a free, tax-free $17,000 that now just hits your account because you decided to go ahead and buy a property for $8,000. Put a fire emoji in the chat. And then what makes this even better, which my brother's going to talk about, is how we can go ahead and double it up. So what I'm specifically going to do is take this money and put this into my son's life insurance policy, which then is going to grow even more. So now I'm taking 17,000 tax free, put it into life insurance, which now is going to go into quadruple the amount over the years and over the time just by taking money that the bank gave me. This is called doubling and tripling up. This is how we take it to the next level. But to make it even better, right? Because we have a new loan on this property for $120,000, the bank is going to say, hey, look, you have this new loan, you have to pay us every single month something called a mortgage. So on this specific property, and just so you guys can see, I already did the math for you guys. For this type of property, it's called Zillow Mortgage Calculator. So you can calculate how much your monthly mortgage payment is going to be. For this specific property, the mortgage payment is going to be around $800 a month, right? It's going to be about $800 a month, but I already did everything for you guys. For this area, the median rent is going to be around $1,750 a month, $1,750 a month. So that means somebody's going to be coming in and paying $1,750 a month. Then I'm going to go ahead. That's coming in. 800 is coming out. Real quick, what's that math? What's left over after someone pays that $1,750 and we kick out our monthly mortgage payment that we had to pay back to the bank every single month? What's left over? Remind you, the tenant is paying us. That's the best part about this. 950 exactly. Thank you. So now we have $950 that's coming in every single January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, so forth and so on. That comes in. Yes, that includes taxes and insurance. 800 is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So now we have 950 coming in every single month that can go into, stock, life insurance, savings, checking, high yield, money market. I don't care where you want to place the money, it's the fact that you have it available now. So the thing about this is now we have 950 that comes in every single month. We have 17K sitting on our account. And then on top of that, we have a property that's going up 4% a year every single year in a house by right now worth $160,000. But in the next couple of years, it's going to be upwards of 200,000 that we all did all this with $8,000. Somebody drop a fire emoji if that's amazing. If that sounds amazing to you, if that sounds perfect to you, if that sounds something you specifically want to go ahead and do, this is how you go ahead and do it. And we're going to go deeper into this. My brother's about to come on and share a lot of more game with you guys. But remember, we did all this for $8,000 and this is just one house. So when I tell people like, yo, listen, you don't need 30, 40, 50 houses. You can, but you don't. Because imagine if you just did this 3 times. Somebody put in the chat, what's 17,000 times 3? Somebody put in the chat, what's 950 times 3? That could be your yearly income for the 17,000 part, and that could be a monthly income for the 950 times 3 part. Now you don't have to worry about car notes. Now you don't have to worry about car insurance. Now you don't have to worry about rent. Now you don't have to worry about mortgages because someone else is paying your bills for you, and now you're working your way to financial freedom. And all of these assets can be passed down to the next generation, your family members, your kids, your loved ones, and X, Y, and Z. So if you guys enjoyed this, put a fire emoji in the chat. I want to bring my brother up, Ramel, where he's going to talk about how we can triple up. I already talked about doubling up. He's going to talk about how we can triple this thing up, and you can go ahead and take this money and turn it to millions. Honestly, he's going to show you some whole other stuff that really take it to the next level. So imagine getting your LLC and everything structured, then taking 8K to put a property inside the LLC, and then you take all of that and put it inside life insurance to take this thing to the moon. So look, bro, I'm going to pass it over to you. Hopefully they ready for what you about to go ahead and bring.
Yo, look, I need y'all to drop the fire emoji in the chat for my brother Boone. If y'all felt like this was valuable, if y'all felt like y'all got some game, drop the fire emoji in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna get him a little bit more, right? And if y'all want more,
Run it.
I need y'all to type more in the chat. If y'all want more, I need y'all to type more in the chat. All right, cool, 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 cool. There we go. There we go. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Cool. All right, perfect. So let's get right into it. Joy broke down how to properly structure your business, how to have the proper estate planning, because when you go and you invest in properties like real estate and what Boone is teaching you, you need to make sure you're protected. So I need everybody to type protected in the chat. That's number one. We got to make sure we're protected. But we also need to understand we need to think like wealthy people because it starts with the mind first, right? So I want everybody to understand wealthy people don't spend money, wealthy people move money. Wealthy people put their money in the right vehicles in the right places. All right. So I'm going to show you something really quick. And if y'all ready, type "show me" in the chat because I'm better at showing you than telling you. Somebody type "show me" in the chat. Just what I want to do. This is actually one of my policies, right? And I have multiple policies for multiple reasons, but I want to break this one down in particular. It's an index universal life insurance policy, right? Most people think that life insurance is only for when you die, but it's also for when you are living, when you understand the information, how to utilize these vehicles. So I want everybody, if you could see this, put this number in the chat, the number that I have highlighted, put that number in the chat. What is that number? I want to make sure the people in the back can see this. What's that number, y'all? I got to highlight it right here on the screen. Put it in the chat. Oh, y'all. Oh, yeah. Listen. Y'all moving a little slow. Y'all moving a little slow. There we go. 1.5 million. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you, Healthy. That's what I'm talking about. So this 1.5 million is what we call a death benefit. You see that here. That means that in the event that I pass away, my family trust is going to get $1.5 million tax free. Somebody type tax free in the chat. So this is when I'm no longer here. However, I'm still able to utilize this money while I'm still living. So I want to scroll down and I want to show y'all this right here, right? What is this number right here? Cash value. Put that number in the chat. For the people that can see clearly, put that number in the chat. What do we see? What's that number? Thank you, Kim. Thank you. $319,000. So even though when I pass away, my family's going to get this money while I'm living, I'm able to utilize this $319,000 as an investment tool. So what I do is I go and I'm able to leverage this money to go get more money and make my money work for me multiple times. Let me show you how this really, really quick. It's called a life equity line of credit. So what you do, right? I'm able to go to the bank and say, hey, I have $319,000 in my life insurance. I would like for you to give me a life equity line of credit. So you see it right here, right? And I'll blow this up for everybody that can't see. It's a revolving line of credit against your cash value. So if you follow me, I'm able to go and get a line of credit for that same $319,000 against my policy. So my money is still making me money because I'm never touching it. All I'm doing is leveraging it as collateral. Does that make sense? Yes or no? I want to make sure y'all with me. What I'm doing is I'm going to the bank and I'm going to request what is called a life equity line of credit. So now I turn this into double. Oh, y'all with me? Oh, man. Yes. So let me tell y'all this. So somebody asked in the chat, are you able to get that money immediately? Yes. The reason why you're able to get the money immediately is because you're going to the bank and getting a line of credit against it. You're not pulling that money out. So what we're doing is just putting the money in the policy and it's going to grow compounded interest as if we never touched it. But I go to the bank and I say, hey, because I show that I have money in this policy, they're going to match me and they don't pull my credit because it's not based upon my credit. It's based upon my cash value. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So this is how we get our money to work harder for us than we work for it. It compounds for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, it compounds, and I'm able to take that money. Now, what's next, Mogul? I know y'all probably asking, okay, now that I went and got a line of credit against it, what do I do next? Well, I'll show you, right? We like to buy already profitable businesses that's making money day one. So I'm going to show y'all something really quick, right? Because I like to show y'all. I'm not the person that's going to be talking all day about it. I'd rather show you better than I could tell you, right? So what I did was I pulled this money out and I bought this self-storage business right here, Smith Station Self-Storage. And it's one of multiple businesses that we buy. But this self-storage facility, I was able to purchase utilizing the money that's in my insurance policy. So let's go in full detail. Like I want to show y'all this. This is the settlement statement. As you can see, right? You see right here, Smith Station Storage LLC. You see the name and you match this up. And I want you to go down, look here where it says, hold on, where's my mouse at? There we go. Oh, y'all can see that, right? Hold on, let me fix it again. There we go. So when you go here, you see Smith Station LLC. This is the settlement statement. I want you to look right here. The purchase price was $450,000. And what I did was work out what is called seller financing. See, a lot of times we think we need to go through a bank to buy a business. We think that we need to have all the highest credit scores. That's not true. I did this without utilizing my credit at all. Somebody type no credit in the chat. I did this entire transaction without using my credit. I literally went and got a line of credit against my insurance, and I worked out what is called seller financing. So if you look here on line 206, it says owner finance mortgage of $250,000. So the seller of that business, he act as the bank, and he now provides a note to me for $250,000, and I only had to come to the table with $200,000 down. That was the cash to the seller. After his little fees, he got $196,000 down. Now, somebody let me know in the chat if you picking up what I'm putting down. How did I get the $200,000 down? If you picking up what I'm putting down, where did this money come from? I didn't use any of my own credit. So we don't need to say, oh, we need an 800 credit score. No, we can get it done. Thank you from the life insurance line of credit. Now y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So let me put this in full perspective. This is what we do. We take the money that we make from investing in real estate. When you buy a duplex or a triplex or a quad, or you sell your property, or let's say you have a business and you're making money, or you may have equity in your home, whatever money you're making, even at your job or your 401k, you are able to take that money out, put it into your life insurance policy, and then you're going to take that money and get a line of credit against it to go buy a business that is profitable day one. If that makes sense, somebody type makes sense in the chat. If that makes sense, somebody type makes sense in the chat. Just want to make sure y'all with me. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. Cool. So I want to break down insurance a little bit more because there's multiple policies, right? It's not a one size fits all. It's multiple policies for multiple reasons. So let me show you this. Now we have term insurance, we have whole life, we have IUL, we have corporate owned insurance, we have VULs. There's multiple policies, but for tonight's class, I'm going to just break down three of them. So we utilize all three. So I want to make that clear. We don't get one or other. We get all three for different reasons. Now, term insurance is the most affordable in the entry level way. It's the fastest way to build wealth. Somebody type fast in the chat. Term insurance is the fastest way for us to build wealth. I'm going to tell you how. For as little as $100 a month, you can go and get $1 million policy. So in the event that you pass away, you're going to give your children $1 million tax free. Somebody type me in the chat if you are okay with investing $100 a month to potentially be in a position to pass down $1 million when you're no longer here. And I'm going to be honest, if anybody come from, poverty, underserved communities, anywhere like I've been, my grandmother passed away and we didn't even have the money to bury her. Where I come from, when people pass away, we doing GoFundMe's and we doing fish fries. If you relate to that, somebody type relate in the chat. I'm just being honest. This is the conversation we don't have. If you know you're gonna pass away, well, goddamn it, at least pass down some money with it. I'm just being real. We know we're not making out of here live. Why leave your spouse with trauma and debt? Why leave your son, your daughter, why leave your family in debt when you can pass down wealth with $100 a month? Cool. Not only that, right? Term insurance is for a particular term, typically 10 to 30 years. So when we buy properties and we take on mortgages and we take on debt, for example, Boone talked about the properties that he purchased, right? I just showed you the business that I purchased and there's a $250,000 mortgage on it. Well, God, when that time comes, and let's say something happened to me and I passed away, The term insurance is going to pay off all of my debts on all properties, on all businesses, all mortgages. So now my family get free and clear assets. Somebody type free and clear in the chat. Somebody type free and clear in the chat. And Vanessa, I'm going to answer that. Vanessa said, just so I'm clear, I can take the money out of my 401k and put it into an IUL. Yes, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how. So that's term. Now, make this very clear. Term is for a term. It's not for your entire life. So you only have it for a particular time frame. But what we do is convert it into a whole life or IUL when that term is expired. And then it costs you a little bit more. So it's not going to be $100 a month. It's now going to be $500 a month. But the difference between whole life and the term is that you get cash value. What I shared with you earlier, what I showed you on that screen, my account at 319,000, that's what we call cash value. Now it's going to cost you a little bit more, about $500 a month. But if you buy a property and you bring it in $1,000, $2,000 a month, it's paying for itself. Let me know. Type me in the chat if you cool with investing $500 a month to be able to get $1 million policy, plus you're able to leverage it while you're living. It makes sense. It just makes sense. That's what Boom said. It just makes sense. Why not? Shout out to Boom. Whole life in IULs is permanent insurance. So it's for the entire duration of your life. Entire duration. And I love this because you will never ever lose. Somebody type never lose in the chat. This is like, if I don't tell you anything, this is what you want to stick with. The fact that I can put my money into insurance and I will never lose, I'm cool with that. Because if you put your money into the stock market, you put your money into crypto, yes, you can make 100%, 200%, but you can lose 100%. You can lose 200%. You could go up and you could go down. So you got to be okay with that. But with whole life, you never lose because it has a floor. Now, you might not make 20, 30%. You might make only 10, 12%, but that's cool because I'm able to leverage it and go invest and make 30, 40, 50, 100% in real estate or buying businesses. But my money is protected. That's the biggest pick I want you to know. Somebody type protect in the chat. That's worth everything for me. Me knowing that my money is protected, I'm never gonna lose. I'm guaranteed 3 to 5% minimum. Come on, and it's tax free. Now let me talk to you, Vanessa. And matter of fact, I want to talk to everybody who have a 401k. Put me in the chat if you have a 401k currently. Type me in the chat if you have a 401k currently. So Whitney got a 401k, Ellen got a 401k, Derek, Cassandra. Okay, a lot of y'all got 401ks. Now I want to ask you the second question, right? Are you happy with the performance of your 401k? This is a safe space. Let's be honest here. Are you happy with the performance of your 401k? Cassandra said, no. Whitney said, well, I'm gonna share with you why you should not be happy. And the truth is this: your 401k is a financial jail. It's a trap for your money. It's the worst place you can have your money. And I know from experience because I worked in corporate for 6 years and I was invested in the 401k. It was the worst decision I made until I learned these strategies that I'm sharing with you today. The reason why your 401k is the worst place you can actually have it is because you have no control. You have limited access. You can't even touch it until you're 59 and a half without penalties. They're going to charge you 10, 20% penalties if you try to pull that money out. Plus, it's a bunch of management fees, and then you don't know it's volatile. Let me know. For those of you that had money in a 401k during the pandemic when it first happened, did your money damn near disappear? Did your money damn near? Listen, I'm not the only one. During the pandemic, my 401k damn near vanished. I'm like, what's happening? So you at the mercy of somebody else. You're at the mercy of the government. You're at the mercy of your employer on whether or not you're going to make money. So let's put this in perspective, right? Let's say you've been working at your job 20 years and every single week you put $75, $100, $200 into that 401k and you busting your ass and you working hard. And let's say at the end of 20 years, you end up growing this account to about $200,000. And let's say at $200,000, you're now 59 and a half, it's 20 years later, you now go pull that money out. Well, you're taxing the growth, which means you're going to have to pay taxes on whatever that amount is that it grows to. So let's say you had a 25% tax bracket. Somebody let me know in the chat, what's 25% of 200,000? Where my mathematicians at? What's 25% of 200,000? See, Tanya said it. Crash in 2014 ate you up. It's for real. Thank you, Ellen. $50,000. Thank you, Marcus. So you might as well deduct 50,000 from the 200 because that's gone. Taxes just out the window. You disappear. Forget about it. Now you got to account for cost of living and inflation because that same 150,000 is not the same 20 years prior. So you really lose about another 50,000. So you're really down to 100,000. We got to look at the real numbers. So essentially, you're working for free for 10, 15 years of your life. What part of the game is that? Let me know. Who's cool with working 10, 15 years for free? You thinking that you have your money growing and half of it is going to disappear. What part of the game is that? And do you know that the average person retires with about $100,000 in their 401k? The average person retires with about $100,000. So you have to really understand you need more control. Somebody type control in the chat. See, what I want to teach you is what they did not put in our school books. They erased out of our curriculums. They don't want us to know. We need to take back control of our money. So, Vanessa, you asked me earlier. Yes, you can actually roll your 401k into an IRA. That's one thing that you can do. Or you can just pull that money out and pay the penalties now. That's what I did. I'm just telling you what I did. And it's not saying what you have to do. But I would get that money out of your 401k immediately. And I would put it in insurance. And then I would leverage it against insurance and buy a business. I would immediately take that money out. So let me put this in perspective, right? Yes, you could put it in an IUL or you could do whole life, whatever one you want to do. So you pull that money out. So let's just talk about this, right? Let's say you got $100,000 in your 401k and you pull that money out, and instead of you having it in your 401k for 20 years, what if you bought a business that was bringing you $100,000 a year? Now do $100,000 a year times 20 years. How much is that? How much is that? If you bought a business that's bringing $100,000 a year for 20 years, how much money is that, y'all? Somebody said they saw this, so they only had 3,200. This is not a game, y'all. Thank you, Joseph. That's $2 million. So over 20 years, you would make $2 million versus 100,000 if you took control of your money and you invested. And you did, because this is what they do. They take your money and they go invest into the market. They go invest in insurance. They go buy businesses and they go make millions and give you pennies. Give you the 100,000 and like we excited. We think we made it. That's why it's a trap. So we need to say, no, I work hard for the money. I need to invest it. I need to control it. And it's not as hard as we may think. We are closer than we think. Some of you that have 401ks right now that set it on a call, your money could be working for you much harder than it is right now. But because we don't have the information, we get caught up in this trap that they sell us because America is the #1 marketing machine. They're going to market to you, hey, put your money in a 401k, work 40 years until you retire, go and get the big house and take on a mortgage and pay it off over 50 years of your life. Get the dog, get the picket fence. They're going to tell you the whole thing because they are the #1 marketer and we are the consumers. Are y'all with me? Let me know if you're ready to change that. That's the conversation that I want to have. Are you ready to change that? Because it's possible for you. I'm telling you from experience. I had $40,000 in my 401k when I left Pepsi. I quit Pepsi. I worked there for 6 years. I paid the penalties. I paid like $8,000 or so in penalties. So I really walked away with about $32,000. I was okay with losing $8 because that $32,000 was a down payment on a 6-unit apartment building that I purchased for $115,000 that is now worth $575,000. I made way more than that 8,000. Does that make sense? So you got to ask yourself, how much is it costing you by keeping your money in a 401k? How much is it costing you to not be in rooms like this to learn information that's going to set you free? How much is it costing you to be a consumer and not be in control of your money? We are closer than we think, y'all. Am I giving y'all some value? Just let me know. Yes or no. I need to know. Am I giving y'all some value? That's all I need to know. Because this was valuable for me. It changed my life. And those of you that feel I'm giving you value, I got one more question for you. Well, I got a few more questions for you. But do you feel like you want more? You feel like this is good stuff right now. Yes, Joy, Boone, y'all giving us a lot of information, but I need more. If you need more, type more in the chat. Whitney said, I just want to apply it right now. I want to apply right. That's what I'm talking about. She needs more right now, not tomorrow, today. Today. For those of you that need more, I will be doing you a disservice not to give you an opportunity to be able to work directly with me, Joy, and Boone a little more intimately, a little more closer, where we can answer your questions. We can understand your personal situation. We could go in more detail. For those of you that want more, do I have your permission to share an opportunity with you where you can work directly with me, Joy, and Boone together collectively so we can go more in detail and really help you get to the next level and make the most out of what you currently have? Okay, they say yes. They say yes. So look, I want to bring up Joy. I want to bring up Boone, and we're gonna present this opportunity with you to really help you elevate and make sure that 2026 is your best year yet. Like I want y'all to put 2026 in the chat because it starts right now. So I'm about to present this opportunity to you. So I hope y'all ready for this. I hope y'all ready for this, right? So on behalf of Joy and Boone and myself, we are giving you the opportunity to join us for an accelerated mentorship week. So not just one day like we're doing now. We're talking about a full week. Every single day, you get a full day with me, full day with Boom, full day with Joy, and we have other special guests, seven-figure business owners for a full week. Our Wealthy Experience Mentorship Week. Type me in the chat if you're ready to be a part of something like that. Type me in the chat if you're ready to be a part of that. They said me.
Ellen
Joy,
said
Boom, they ready.
me.
They ready. So look, we about to drop this link, but I want to make this very, very clear, right? We cannot take everybody along with us. We cannot take everybody along with us. We want the people that's serious. And serious is just a mindset of knowing I'm willing to do whatever it takes for however long it takes until I outlast that learning curve. That's what it's about. And this mentorship week starts November 9th to November 14th, full week. And it's an investment of only $397. I don't know, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. Only $397. If you ready, type ready in the chat for full mentorship week, start November 9th with myself, Boone, and Joy. We're going to break down everything you need to know about business structure, estate planning, investing in businesses, life insurance, how to make money with the life insurance skill set. It's just so much. So get ready for this opportunity. But what I'm going to do while we're on this call, I'm going to give you a code. The code word is legacy. And that code is going to give you $100 off tonight. Tonight, y'all. So it's going to be an investment of only $297.
So
Somebody put
one thing I
only
want to make
297 in
sure
the
I add
chat.
in, one thing I want you to add in too, bro. Someone just
Yeah.
said, "Can I do this while working full time?" You need to be doing this if you're working this full time.
Ooh.
This would possibly get you out of working full time.
Mm.
So I'm gonna let that just simmer on that one. But yes, this is something you can do full time. The thing I love about building wealth is not something that takes 8 hours a day. It
Mm-hmm.
is 1000% nothing that can take 8 hours a day. Every single person can do this on this call, whether they work full time, part time, pool shift, whatever shift you work, you can do this 100%. And another thing I want to add into Ramel, what you said. So now you guys getting $100 off. Everybody on this call that joins in tonight is getting $100 off. But what I want to do is for the first 10 individuals that go ahead and lock in this spot quickly, you're going to get access to a couple other things that you can start getting access to tonight. All right, I put tonight in the chat. I'm gonna say this quick. You want to get access to a full-blown real estate fundamental course that's going to show you how to buy, find, fix, flip, rent, work with contractors. It's an 8 module course that shows you step by step by step by step. Each module is about 10 minutes each. That's going to give you a full breakdown. You could pause, rewind, do everything you need to do to learn the real estate game in detail until we get to November 9th. That's one. The second thing I want to give you guys is a full event space course, which is going to show you how to find, automate, get clients, everything in between for your event space business. That's something that you guys are interested in doing. And the reason why I want to give you these two things, because these are two things that help you can make money now. These are two things that can help you can get the ball rolling before December 31st. These are two things that you can go ahead and utilize to quit your job now. These are two things that can help you build wealth now. So on top of the whole entire mentorship week that we have, you also getting these two things. So there's a lot of other things that we want to add, but we want to keep a couple things secret. But if you're someone that's in card in hand ready right now, ready to go ahead and lock and spot, ready to be one of those 10 people, put 10 now. Just put 10 now. If you want to be one of those 10 people right now, put 10 now. We're gonna make it fair. We're gonna go ahead and drop the link, but I want to make sure everybody is ready before we go and do this. Because it's only for that first 10 people.
That's a fact.
Shoot, that's 10 right there. Shoot.
All right, so y'all ready? Y'all ready? They said where the link at? They said where's the link? Like we talking too much. They said where's the
I think
link?
Whitney said, I'm ready to get in.
All right, so let's do this countdown. I think they ready. Let's do this countdown. Five, five, four, three, two, one. Drop the link, drop the link, drop the link, drop the link, drop the link. The link is in the chat. Once you
And then
lock
Mo, you
in your
share the
spot,
screen
type
for him.
comment.
Somebody ask something.
Absolutely.
And also tell
Absolutely.
them what time the class is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So November 9th through the 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it starts our Q&A session. So you get a chance to personally ask us questions. We're going to make sure we understand exactly what your situation is and how we can help you during that week. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll kick off the actual classes. Myself, Joy, Boone, and I'm a host of others. So we got Dana Christian that's going to be breaking down business funding, how to get access to credit cards, how to get access to lines of credit. We also have Stormy Banks to teach you how to actually get approved for grants, free money. Somebody type free money in the chat. I know we like free money. So if you want to learn from the best when it comes to grant writing and being able to win grants and how to also make money with insurance, right? So not only do you buy insurance to protect you just in case there's some life altering event, and not only to leverage it as a tool to invest, but you could actually make money in the insurance business. So those of you that need some money fast, there's multiple ways to do it. So we're gonna break that down during these 5 days. And look, somebody asked, is it recorded? Yes, it's recorded. But can I be real with y'all? You might want to put in your PTO. You might want to
Mm-hmm.
let your supervisor know. Because look, they not giving y'all 2 week notices, right? Like these companies right now, they're giving a 2 day notice. Like today you're done. They not next week.
Two
Not they
minutes.
crazy. 2 minute, 2 minute notice. So if I'm you, I'm taking off the week, but at the very minimum, you can catch it, and then there will be recordings throughout the week, so you'll be fine. So it's gonna be a jam-packed week.
Yeah, I want to add to that. Enjoy. I want you to add to this because you know a lot about this more than I do. We talked about this other night. Like the economy is changing.
Mm.
It's not changing, it's changed. Like this stuff is happening is now.
Yeah.
Like Tink, you dropped the link again. Didi said they need the link, but this stuff is happening right in front of your face. Jobs are getting lost, companies are changing, things are shifting. Like I don't know how much more of a sign you need to start making some type of change. Like we have to start maneuvering now. Some people say, "Yo, January 1st, I'm gonna go ahead and make this stuff happen." We don't know what Trump gonna put together January 1st. So
Facts.
start learning these skills and position yourself now. The things that we're talking about investing into, life insurance, real estate, things like that, LLCs, businesses, is the same thing that he's doing. Same thing all these other individuals doing. That stuff is protected. That stuff is secure. But you over here trying to say, look, my job is secure. This is secure. That stuff is not. We clearly see what's going on. So we have to start investing and making things happen today. But Joe, I want you to touch on that because you really in the knee deep with this stuff.
And real quick, Joy, add
Read my
this too.
CNN.
Somebody just said, no, what if you don't have the funding right now and really want to learn the skill? So just add that to you to what you're going to respond to, Joy.
So number one, I'm going to say we are in unprecedented times, right?
Yeah.
We have food that's going to be going away on Saturday. Um, Amazon just let go of 30,000 people.
Mm.
UPS just let go of 48,000 people. Target just let go of it's like it's just a laundry list of, companies downsizing, AI taking over, the economy, sales. So this is your wake up call, right? Like God sends signs. This is your wake up call, not to scare you, not to say quit your job, but everyone needs to have the power of the pivot. If something were to happen, I can
Mhm.
pivot. I have another stream of income that can knock out my car note, that can knock out my mortgage as I am figuring this thing out, or another lane of income where I can just say, I'm done, right? I'm a calling well, today is my last day, right? So being able to put yourself in that position to be able to pivot is so important. Now, well, right now my bank account is looking funny. I don't have money to invest in real estate. Every season is different. The first season that we need to enter to is going to be getting the knowledge. What is the play, right? What do I need? Because a lot of times we think we need way more than what we really need just to get in. So if you are wanting another stream of income, if you know that your 9 to 5 may not be there in 6 months to a year, if you want to be financially independent of a job or a person, I would say come into this 5 days of knowledge. Learn the different tools that you can have in your tool chest. Hold on. Learn the different tools that you can have in your tool chest, right? Get the knowledge. Know what do I need? Do I just need credit card? Like Boom just got his son for 8,000. Boom just got his son a house for $8,000. Who would have ever thought you could have bought that? First of all, buy a house with the credit card. Number two, buy a house for 8,000, like $8,000. I got a bag worth 8,000. I can have a house on my arm and not this bag. So getting the information is so important because now we're in the game. Now we at least know what play I'm about to play, and now we can get our stuff together. If that means, okay, I like what Ramel said, I'm gonna move my 401k and do this. But the most important information is getting the information, getting the play, knowing how am I going to set myself up for success because things are only going to get worse, right? So like now is the time to prepare. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to say woo woo woo. What I am saying is we are in unprecedented times right now, okay? Congress isn't even in trying to negotiate. So this is not a normal government shutdown. They're going to be back. They're not even in DC to negotiate to open up the government, right? So they don't care and that's fine. We're going to put ourselves in a position to where we don't need anyone else to survive. So that's what we're doing in these 5 days. So just get in, find a way to get in and get the information. Number two, you'll be in a Telegram group to network with other like minded people. A lot of times you're the only one in your group that has a business mindset, an investment mindset, and so it's hard for you to find other people like you. You're gonna be in a circle with people who think just like you. So now you can collab, find your next business partner, find your next business bestie to be able to do some of these plays with. So I just say get in, and get in. But don't we have payment plans too with Klarna?
Yeah, yeah. I want to share my
Yep.
screen real quick and show that. So those of you that's looking to get in, anyway, right? Just make sure you figure out how to get in the door. So what you're gonna do when you go on that site, are you gonna go in here? You're gonna put your information in to secure your spot. And once you get to the next page, right? What you're gonna do when you see this coupon code, you're gonna put legacy. Once I put legacy, I'm gonna hit apply. Guess what? Boom. I'm 297, y'all. So I save $100, but now I can go and I click Klarna and I can break it down into payments of $74.25, four payments interest free. So you can break this down for as little as $75. You can utilize Afterpay. And again, this is interest free as little as $74.25. So this is the payment options that you do have. But again, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you get in this room because what you don't know will cost you.
That's a
That's just the
fact.
fact of the matter. What you
That is a
don't know
fact.
what will cost you either way.
That is
So
a fact.
if y'all got that, put got it in the chat.
One other thing I
No,
want to add is people need to make sure they understand is they can't do what they don't know.
mm,
Like
Mm.
when I heard somebody say you can't leave where you haven't gone. Like you have to go ahead and get the information or get connected with the people that have already walked that path. So all they got to do is just hold their hand. They're going to just follow you suit through the path that you want to take. When I wanted to learn some more about real estate, I tapped in with somebody who was doing real estate on a whole nother level than me, so I could learn and get to the point where I'm at. I wanted to learn more about life insurance. I tapped in where I'm at so I can learn more about that. I want to learn more about business structure, asset protection. I tapped in with Joy. She taught me more about that. So you have to learn from the people because you can. Otherwise, it's the blind leading the blind. You trying to teach yourself to do something by that you. Let's be honest. YouTube only getting you but this far.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like yes, YouTube does drop a lot of game, a lot of value. It's going to get you this far. And trying to YouTube piece, I'm gonna watch a 30 minutes on this video, an hour on this video, 15 minutes. Like you over here trying to put puzzle pieces together. Just go where the whole thing is lined up. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And the thing I love about what we're doing is it's in chronological order. We're just not sporadically giving you information randomly. We're giving you to in order. How to start all the way to how to finish. So you just have to follow suit. How many people like everything laid out smooth for them? Put smooth in the chat, like laid out everything smooth, everything in order. So all you got to do is just follow the steps. And that's how we're setting, Ellen, appreciate you. That's how we're setting things up for you guys. We're lining up. So all you have to do is just show up and follow the steps. We're making this foolproof so you guys can go ahead and build wealth and you guys can go ahead and win. So if you guys just locked in your spot, put I'm in the chat so we can personally congratulate you guys. And if you see somebody in the chat that puts I'm in, I need you to comment in their post and say congratulate to them because it is important that we give each other flowers. It's important we shout each other out. It's important we support each other because it's not that many of us. It's more people out here that's just look. I'm gonna just 9 to 5 it the rest of forever. I'm gonna just figure this thing out. I'm gonna just go ahead. Then people like us that actually want to do what we need to do to get to that next level as fast as possible. So Cassandra, congratulations. Ella, congratulations. Kiana, congratulations. And if you
Let
guys
me
just
answer.
like, just put congrats in the chat. Go ahead.
I just want to answer a few of these questions real quick because somebody
Mhm.
asked. I just showed y'all where's the 297 link. So in order to get 297, what you got to do is you got to go here and you got to punch in the coupon code. The coupon code on here is legacy, right? Once you click apply, and then boom, you see that 297. So I want to make sure y'all got that. I seen a few people ask that question. So I just want to show it one more time. And then also I seen another question about what time. So it starts 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's in the evenings after your day at work. And again, we do have recordings. So I just wanted to answer those questions, boom, because I seen some people asking that in the chat.
That's good. That's good. But one thing I want to ask them as well. One thing I want to ask as well. What is some of the things, Tammy? Congratulations. What are some of the things that I know we talk about life insurance, we talk about business, we talk about real estate, we talk about just wealth in general. What is that one wealth move that you want to put in play to get the ball rolling? Comment in the chat. Like, what is that one thing? Like, if I can just get the LLC set up, that will kickstart my year. If I can just go ahead and get the life insurance policy, that will kick off my year. Like, what is that one thing? It might be the property. What is that one thing that you want to do that you want to accomplish in the next 60 days that will really kick things off for you guys? Business fund, okay. LLC, okay. Get the IOL. All right, perfect. Real estate. What else? I need 60K, okay. So I need 60,000 too, my damn self. I love it.
Boom, I want to do something real quick, bro.
hmm
Because they asking a lot, right? So somebody also asked, is this for newbies or is this for advanced individuals? I seen that in the chat. So what I want to do, right? I want to actually add something on here to really give you some additional support. So those of you that need some support and you need a financial advisor, what we're gonna do, right? We're actually gonna have our seven-figure financial advisor who has seven-figure and eight-figure clients and personally jump on a strategy call, right? With not next week, starting this week, you'll be able to jump on calls with a financial advisor to really help you understand your financial situation, whether it's a 401, because it's not a one size fits all, right? So we need to know what your situation is, right? Even when it comes to insurance, everybody's situation is different. So we have a licensed financial advisor that we're gonna bring in, that we're gonna actually have these calls starting this week. So leading up to the actual week, we can just execute and we can just move with speed. Not only that, I see again, a lot of us think that we don't have enough and you can make it happen with what you have. So I want to show y'all something really quick. What I also want to do is give everybody who join in before we close up in the next, I don't know, I think we got 2 minutes, Boom. How much time we got left? All right.
Yeah,
So
so one thing we gotta shut down at 8:30. So if you guys, I want to say this more, I want to say this, you can finish up. If you guys
yeah.
are somebody that wants to go ahead and lock in your spot, even outside of this first 10 people, we're going to shut down the link, shut down everything in 9 minutes. So what I want you guys to do, if you have any questions, drop those questions right now. Honestly, you already know this is exactly where you need to be. So Tink, you drop the link one more time, and it's November 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I seen somebody say, I'm not sure if it's 7 or 8. 7 or 8 or 9, you need to be on it. But it's at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Go perfect. Go ahead, Mo.
So what I'm gonna do for those of you that join in, right? I'm actually gonna give you 30 days access to my school community again, so you can have a plethora of information. But just to show you, right? This is one of our students who purchased a pack and ship business. When you think about the UPS store, you think about FedEx, right? She literally purchased this pack and ship business with $5,000. Literally, it's $5,000 and it is making six figures a year because she understood strategies, right? I'm showing you this because I want you to see yourself in Cookie. If you don't see yourself in Boone and Joy and myself, everyday people are doing this. These strategies work as long as you work the system. So I don't want you to be discouraged. Don't count yourself out if you don't have the funding. If you got to have the mindset. Somebody type mindset in the chat. Not
Mindset.
just that, right? This is another mentee right here who purchased a dry cleaners that's bringing another six figures, and she utilized the money out of her infinite bank, which is her insurance. But I'll just share with you. So it's everyday people that's actually executing and doing these strategies that we can actually execute on. So we don't have to think that you are too far behind. This mentorship is for whoever, wherever you are, whether you are a newbie, whether you're advanced, whether you are somewhere in the middle, we have you covered. It's three of us plus more. So I want to make sure
Mhm.
you understand. Don't count yourself out. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of our dreams. We find every single reason why it won't go right. But what if it went? What if it went right for you? We talk about all the things that we lack instead of focusing on the light. That's what I want us to
Mhm.
do. If I would have focused on the lack, I remember I invested $5,000 in my very first mentorship. I went to my grandfather and my dad. They both told me no. They said, give me that money. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. If I would have listened to them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So a lot of times we are sharing these things and we got this information, but we talking to other people that's not serving us. So not only are you going to be able to get information, you're going to be in an environment because your environment will change you way before you could change it. Me, Joy,
Mhm.
Boom, we met because we invested to get in the right environment. A lot of you are the best kept secret. You're on this call right now because you're looking for a way to be able to change your life. There's thousands of other people that's not on this call because they're not even looking for a solution. They're not even looking for a breath of fresh air. You're looking for an opportunity. So it's not a coincidence, it's confirmation. So I want you to take this as a sign
Ooh.
if you truly want to be able to take 2026 and make it your best year yet, because it
Mhm.
starts right now.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. I love that. One, I want to touch on a couple of these questions. So there's a lot of people that have not a lot of people, but there's a couple of people that have some Good questions. It is Eastern time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know what time zone you guys specifically are in, but it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to Google, type in what is 8 p.m. Eastern to Pacific or Central. I wanna make sure everybody got it. Another thing is it says code website, the code keeps spinning. So what I want you to close out the page and is open up a new fresh page. Because a lot of people got their spot, so the page works. So you might just gotta close it out and reopen it back. Um, yes, tonight. Any other questions, comment in the chat, and if you just got your spot, comment I'm in. We got 5 more minutes before we close this whole thing out. Um, If you went ahead, the starter kit is not the same information. The starter kit is an ebook, and this whole mentorship is a full live week. The ebook is a product. This is a full week with us directly live every single night. I think that was a couple of things I saw. The payment plan is when you go to the website and you click Klarna or Afterpay, it gives you the payment plan options. Toussaint, congratulations. Jaquana, congratulations.
And what we're
Anybody else?
gonna
And then
do?
also, oh, go ahead, bro.
Now you go. You go. You say what you gonna say.
No, 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 go ahead. Charlotte,
So
congratulations.
so what I also want to do is this, right? We're gonna drop the support team because I see a lot of y'all having issues. So if you are trying to make your payment right now and for some reason it's not working, team, can y'all drop the support email so they can email and be able to get this resolved? If y'all can y'all do that? We're gonna drop it in the chat right now.
Saying
And
congrats.
Marcin,
Sophia, congrats.
congratulations.
Yo, listen,
Congratulations.
I'm noticing something. I noticing something, right? If you just if you just got your spot and you're a woman, comment me in the chat. Yo, fellas, the women kicking our asses right now. Y'all, I'm telling you, they kicking our butts. I'm telling you, they
Yeah.
invest, they buy house, they doing this, and they looking to get more. Like, look, we already got our stuff situated, but we trying to get more. Fellas, man, I need y'all to represent for us. Fellas, if you in here and you just got your spot, put me in the chat. Put man
Where you
in the
at?
chat. Let's put man in the chat.
Where you
What'd you say,
at?
Joy?
I said, where you at, fellas? Where you at?
Yeah, the woman kicking our butts right here, mode.
That's a fact.
So
That's a
Tina, the
fact.
start time is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time.
And then also too, I forgot to add that our full class is going to be on a different platform outside of this. So we're going to be able to see you guys' faces and you'll be able to unmute yourself and ask your questions. It's not in the comments where you got to write your question. That's only on this because we have so many people on here. When we end the challenge, it's going to be a nice, more curated room where you guys can be able to unmute yourself and ask your questions live. So I know somebody on here like, man, I want to be in it, but I want to be able to talk. You will be at the opportunity to actually talk. So you won't have to go ahead and comment your question. You can actually verbally ask your question. Because I know somebody in here is like, oh man, I really want to be able to talk to them. You will be able to talk with us and ask your questions live on the other platform we're going to be on when we do this full week. All right. Marcin said, can't wait. And then someone said, I'm having issues making payment. Close out the page and open it back up. It's working for a handful of people. So it probably just need to close the tab out and just reopen it. Um,
And then it's going to be recorded, right? So if you're
yep,
out
yep,
of
yep.
town, if you're going to miss a day, it's not a problem. It's going to be recorded. You're going to have access to the replays. The most important thing is getting the information, right? So I would say just get the ticket, get the replay, but get the information.
Yeah,
Tina said,
and then
I'm
yeah,
excited.
It's going to be
and
good.
again, and we about to close this thing up in 1 more minute actually. If you need like 2 more minutes to be able to lock in your spot and get these bonuses, just type 2 minutes in the chat. Type 2 minutes in the chat because we got to close this thing up. We want to make sure that we give y'all back your time. We said 90 minutes. So if you need 2 more minutes, just type 2 minutes in the chat.
There we go. Ola Dimji. Oh, I ain't messing your name up. Congrats, 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 congrats. I pray I don't mess your name up. Don't charge it to
Just
my
say
heart.
congrats. Just say congrats.
Congrats. I wanted to make sure they knew I was talking about them. Lorraine, congrats. A couple people said 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. So look, y'all, appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you guys inside the program. Can't wait to just build you guys, but more importantly, give you guys a step by step, please, so you can go ahead and win. Not next year, not the year. I'm talking about right now. Like literally right now, put this stuff together. So appreciate you guys. And again, if you guys need 2 more minutes, comment 2 minutes because the 8:30 is the cutoff time. But if you need 2 more minutes, we might stretch it for two. But and if you guys got in already, put I'm in the chat so we can do one last congrats before we close this thing up. Thank you all. Tina ready.
Hey
That's a
T,
fact.
hey T
You ready.
girl.
You ready.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there, Boone and Ramel. You can shoot the messenger if you want, but since payday is tomorrow, can those who are saying I want to get in, but can I just make pay when I get paid tomorrow? Can they maybe email the team and still get the link?
Because you asked, they gonna get it. Because you asked, they gonna get it. So team, drop the link, and we'll listen. Y'all put thank you Joy in the chat. Thank Joy. Put thank you Joy in the chat.
I know
There
what it's
we
like,
go. There we-
for it to be a little hard out here. So if team y'all could drop the email and then for those who are like, ooh, I get paid tomorrow, I'm about to invest, email the team tomorrow and get the link.
There it
Because
goes. Support.
it's the information that's going to change you. Now, KP, stop playing with us, KP. Do you think are we giving y'all pre-recorded energy or are we giving you live energy? Now, come on, KP. Don't do us like that. Come on.
This
Come
AI
on.
stuff, nobody know what to trust when it comes to AI now. AI making it
It's so
tough out here.
good. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we are live. We're trying to give you, top tier information. Yes, Aisha, write the code down, but make sure tomorrow email the team, ask for the link, get it, and secure your spot. We want to make this challenge. We have limited spots. We want everyone to get the information. We want everyone to be able to implement or know what their next step is. The whole goal is to start wherever you are. Some people will be more advanced. Some people are going to be brand new. Some people are going to be in the middle. So our whole goal is to get everyone the information and you just start wherever you are. So that way, as we're going into 2026, we're going in number one with a game plan or a revised game plan because some of us may be doing some similar things, but we may learn a quicker, better way of doing it.
Mhm.
Other people are like, oh, I never knew about this. Let me go on ahead and get a game plan. So now we're going into 2026 locked and loaded with momentum. We're not just waiting around saying new year, new me, and ain't nothing new happening. Okay. So I want everyone to have a plan and then we're going to just start working our plan wherever that is. So you don't have to have a lot of money. You just need to get in. Just get in. Opportunities are happening all the time. You may meet someone and you have the credit and they have the money, or you have the money and they have the credit, or they have the opportunity, you have the knowledge. Like you never know who God's gonna put in your footstep, in your mix, to be able to collab with you. Did you tell your story, Ramel, about how you bought your first house?
I didn't. I
So
didn't.
Ramel bought his first house with no money. He
Mhm.
happened to find the deal, went to an event, or no, someone pushed you went to an event and you found someone's grandmother, or oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Ramel
yeah.
bought a house with no money. Ramel
Yeah.
found the deal, and through God, he done ran to a lady who said, "Well,
That's
I'll
right.
give you the money," and they partnered together. So he's able to buy a house with no money. See, when God does that, but God blessing, it don't make sense.
Mm.
See, we in our mind, we're thinking logical. I have X amount in the bank. If I keep saving at the same rate, it's going to be forever. That's not how God works.
Mhm.
God just puts you in position. God just puts you in the room. God gives you a flat tire that makes you go into the Starbucks to call AAA. And as you're sitting there, you run in. That's how God works. And when God works, He 10x's your blessings. So it may have taken you 4 years to raise X amount of money. It's going to take you 4 months to 10x it. So
Mm.
don't look at things through your timeline, through your eyes. You want to look through them as, hey, God, just order my steps. Just have me be in the right rooms, at the right place, at the right time. So when it's time for me to execute, I am executing at the fullest capacity.
Mm.
And I'm saying that from having to start over just 3 years ago, and God has 10x my entire life. Entire life. So don't move on where you are. Move on. Hey, if you feel like you can learn from me, you can learn from Ramel, you can learn from Boone. If anything was like, I think I kind of like this, get in. Get in and get the information. And once you get the information, you decide which tool you want to pull out your tool chest, what play you want to make. And then every single month, every single year, you're just working your plan. Everyone's plan is going to be a little different. What Ramel got going on, what I got going on, what Boom got going on, it's all a little different. But I can take a little nugget from here, a little nugget from there, and then you have your plan and you just work your plan. You will not be a millionaire tonight, but night after night, you will set yourself up for success.
Mm.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Mm.
So the information is the most important part. I know it's the holidays. I know we're all excited, to be able to, do Christmas and all that stuff. But hey, I think what's more important is being at that Thanksgiving table and being able to share knowledge about how now your friends, your families can now protect their assets, can now be able to acquire more assets. And now this is how we're training and we're teaching people generational wealth, the stuff that they do not teach in school. They taught me to go to school, go to more school. I've been in school half my life with degree after degree, law degree. Now I got to get a master's in law, worked on my MBA. Like, girl, I got too many degrees, right? And I make more money doing something that requires no degree. In my business, and I made way more money than I did practicing law. And that's 5 years of undergrad, 3 years of law school. I went and got a master's in tax law. Like, girl, how much school you gonna do? But they tell you go to school and get a good job. I did all that. Went to a firm and realized, baby, they are just billing me way more than what they're paying me. This don't make sense. So then once
Mm.
you realize the first plan I was working don't make sense, now it's time to be relentless on your next plan. So if you're working your 9 to 5, and then at home you work on your dreams from 5 to 9 p.m., that's what we do
Mm.
until it all makes sense. Now you can choose, do I want to have a 401k? Do I want to invest something else? Or not just going with the flow of what everyone tells you.
Mm.
Lauren is
Yo,
Lauren, girl. Hey, girl.
congratulations, Lauren. Congratulations. If you in type in the chat for once in the final, we're gonna congratulate everybody. We got really 2 more minutes. That's it, and we closing up at 8:40 Eastern Standard Time sharp. If you in type, I'm in the chat. We're gonna give you 2 more minutes. And just to add to what Joy said, we gotta go off of faith, y'all. Like that's like sometimes all you can lean on is God, right? And
Mm,
just think about it. These are some tough times that we're going through. Those of you that have food stamps, and we probably know family members that have food stamps, a lot of people don't know where their next bill is coming from, right? And the crazy part about it is it's only going to get worse.
mm,
That's the crazy part. It's only going to get worse. And then, again, this is not to scare nobody. This is just a reality check because the wealth gap is just going to continuously widen and separate, right? You either going to be super poor or be super wealthy, right? It's not going to be no in between, but there is people that's going to make a lot of money during this time if they have the right information. And there's going to be a lot of people that lose out because they did not take advantage of the opportunity to learn the information. And it's not going to be an overnight thing. right? We got to be okay with that. We got to be okay with starting somewhere. Okay, you don't have an LLC, we'll get the LLC and get started. If you do have an LLC, well, let's get that digital product. Let's start this business. Let's get that life insurance. What we're going to be teaching you the entire mentorship week is multiple ways to be able to increase your income. Multiple ways. And so it don't matter where you are in your journey. I want to make that very, very clear. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. We can't think about $1 million, 500,000. We got to think about the very first move. I see some people asking, well, what's happening after that? Oh, do you hold on to? We just got to take the first step. When you get in
Right.
the car every single day, you don't see your full destination. You see the first street light and you make a left. And then you
Right.
go up 2 more blocks and you make a right. And then you keep going. And the next thing you know, boom, you at the destination.
Right.
I didn't know I'll be here. Joy didn't know she'd be here. I didn't know I'll meet a Joy. I'm glad that I did, thank God, right? But I didn't know. But because I just took the step forward, Joy took the step forward, Boom took the step forward, and we kept moving forward, we created an environment where we're able to help each other win. And that's the most important piece. A lot of you have some great talent, you have some resources, but you are not in the right environment. You don't
Mm.
have no coach to be able to say, hey, look, well, maybe if we move your money around this way, then this is going to work for you. Okay, maybe that's not the best business for you. This is the best business because the truth is, a lot of us are working hard. We just working hard at the wrong things. My sister, I tell her all the time, she is a medical assistant and she goes to work 50, 60 hours a week. She got a second job. She works harder than me, but she's working hard at the wrong things. I don't work as hard as her, but I make more money because it's not about working hard, it's about working higher. And that's what we want to teach you. Somebody type higher in the chat.
Higher.
And that's what we're gonna do. So let's close this thing out. I know Joy got some stuff going on. We all got some stuff going on. We want to prepare for the mentorship week. You're gonna get access to a Telegram group. So once you log in, you're gonna get access to a Telegram group. That's where we're gonna communicate. That's where we're gonna build. You'll get a lot of your notifications and communication, and then we're gonna be hitting the ground running this week. You're gonna have the financial advisor call this Friday, and we'll have all that cool stuff. So that's all I have to say. Joy, if you got anything else, you can say it. If not, we could close this thing up.
I am excited for everyone. First of all, congratulate yourself even being on the call on Thursday night. I know y'all have life, y'all have kids, you have family, you have work, but you showed up for yourself. So congratulations. I am super excited to see everyone in a couple of weeks. I am more excited about everyone getting a plan to be able to pivot, to be able to know, hey, if something were to happen, I can go here, I can do this, I can do that to make sure that my family is good. So I guess everyone have a phenomenal night.
All right, Joy, I'll talk to you later. Everybody have a good night. We'll see y'all on the other side. All right.
Bye.